Tag, very nice, very evil.
That's tag shit.
Free fall as I dive through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really.
What up, Tag Nation? It's your boy ScooterRay here for kind of a hot tag / tag me in, to borrow from Dizzle, a Dizzle moment, maybe even an F it, I'm gonna say it, but this is all rolled into one. As you can see on the screen, my main focus is the Mr. McMahon documentary that came out on Netflix about roughly a week and some change ago. What up, everybody? How y'all doing, Tag Nation? I know it's been a couple of weeks since we dropped the video, but I'm here, y'all. And what I want to discuss is not to incite a riot, is not to cause discourse, is not to question your love for wrestling or question your love for whatever. It's just, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's truly talk about it. And the reason why I'm saying it is because Vince McMahon, Mr. McMahon, is going to go down as one of the most polarizing figures we will ever have in professional wrestling. Whether you love him for what he's done with wrestling, whether you hate him for what he's done with wrestling, it begs the question to ask: would we be here with him or without him? Would we still love this thing called professional wrestling? Will we still have this thing called professional wrestling without him and his brain? And if you don't know about the documentary, it was a 6-part Netflix documentary that pretty much all the interviews were pretty much from 2021. And they did a couple sprinkled after, like they did a few in 2024. We'll get to that. But mainly 2021. And I want to say they said it was over 100 plus hours worth of footage that they had to, use. And it talks about pretty much Vince from 12-ish all the way up until now. And it's told across 6 episodes. There's kind of a theme per episode, and it just kind of goes from there. We pretty much get the beginnings. We pretty much get the new generation. We get the Attitude Era. We get the Ruthless Aggression Era. We get kind of, now. And we also get a WCW kind of centric episode as well, when, WCW was kicking their back in for 83 weeks. Now, the one thing about this documentary is going to be weird, because right before the doc came out, Vince himself denounced it. And I can see why. It's going to be hard for anybody, anywhere, to say anything good or good adjacent about someone who has serious dirt on their name. Mr. McMahon is kind of in that boat with Diddy. He's in that boat with like a Harvey Weinstein. He's in the boat with any of these people who we see them as this figure, but behind closed doors, they may have been doing some foul shit. And that's what makes this doc weird, because they didn't tell it in a way to let the audience choose. They kind of guided you to feel a certain way. Now, if you have been an avid wrestling watcher, wrestling fan, you're going to feel how you're going to feel about McMahon, because there are people I've been seeing who watched this documentary and was just like, okay. There have been people saying, I could never watch wrestling again because of this documentary. Okay. It's really left up to you, but I will say this. My personal opinion, if you want to attack me for my personal opinion, that's fine. It's not the first time. There's nothing in this documentary that's going to make me be like, oh, I can never watch WWE again. Oh my God, no. Nothing in this documentary that's going to make me be like, this is disgusting, despicable human being that I could no. Because once again, if you have been an avid wrestling fan, everything in this doc you pretty much know. I'm just putting it out there. You pretty much know everything that's in this doc. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to do this video, not to really talk about the doc so much, which I will, ironically, but one of the questions they asked at the end, because they even asked Vince himself, they was asking some of the other people, what is Mr. McMahon's legacy? What is Vince's legacy? Because it's weird. Here it is, we had a man who changed wrestling. Like, they kind of show within like the first episode that the way wrestling was done with the whole territory and this and third, and how when he bought the business from his dad, he just kind of took it and was like, nah, we taking this everywhere. But what about the territories? Fuck them territories. We're going to try to poach the best wrestler from these territories to join this WWF. And whatever happens to them little promotions, oh well, tough titty. You start to see the man was ruthless, but the man had a plan. It wasn't just, I'm just doing this. The man had a plan to make wrestling larger than life. He pretty much shown us from jump, it was always sports entertainment, and he always wanted to make this larger than life. Pretty much. So it's kind of weird when people get so mad with the whole wrestler thing, and it's like McMahon been telling us since damn near either some of us were born or some of us wasn't. This is sports entertainment. It wasn't nothing that they just coined back in like the mid 2000s or the 2010s. He's been saying it since the 80s. Sports entertainment. He's let us know this is sports entertainment. And them doing whatever they needed to do for sports entertainment, whether it's getting celebrities, whether it's loaning people for movies, whether it's, doing whatever, it's all about sports entertainment. And once again, without this man and his legacy, what defines Mr. McMahon's legacy? Is it what he's did for the wrestling business as a whole? Is it his personal things with the many allegations of sexual assault, sexual abuse, rape, inappropriate conduct, bad business dealings? Does that stamp his legacy as well? He's in this weird flux. And what makes it weird, because upon watching this documentary, and hell, even just listening for wrestlers all together, there are people who adore this man. There are people who love this man. Even wrestlers who are not with the company anymore, who have went on to did bigger and better, who are actively in AEW, maybe Impact, who have retired and, working regular 9-to-5s. There are people who truly adore this man. There are people who love him as a boss. There are people who love and respect what he has done for them, what he has done for the business, and what he keeps on doing. Yes, they may not agree or like his other things he's done, but that still doesn't stop them from loving said individual. Undertaker, Mark Calloway himself said he would take a bullet for Vince McMahon. And that did not sound like bullshit. He was dead ass. If there was a gunman shooting, he would shield Vince. I'm pretty sure he probably still feels that way today. October 7th of me recording this, Undertaker probably to this day feels he will take a bullet for Vince McMahon. And that's what makes this documentary a little unfair, which I can see why he denounced it, because it talks about how he did it. Then, of course, it gets to like the steroid trial. Then it gets to certain aspects of what he was doing with the McMahon character and what he did to Brett and Wendy Richter, and, you know, a little bit of how he was treating some of the women, and of course, up into the allegations that happened in 2021, and then ultimately the Janelle Grant situation of 2024. It was like almost 50 years of business, per se, roughly. There has to be some good. Like, there has to be some good from this. That, you know, they didn't talk about like Hunter's Cure. They didn't talk about, and the one time they did kind of talk about tribute for the troops. Unfortunately, it was tied to the Ashley Massaro situation. So it was like, there has to be some good Vince has done. And once again, this is not me trying to cape. This is not me trying to defend. This is me presenting both sides, because once again, wrestling fans, y'all already have y'all's opinions. And I don't think anything in this documentary is going to change how you feel about Vince already. If you already hated Vince, this documentary, in my opinion, is not going to make you hate him more. If you love Vince, this documentary is not going to deter that. You're going to feel how you feel already. This documentary, in essence, I'm trying to feel who's this documentary for. Because if you have no interest in wrestling at all, I don't see you randomly stumbling across this and watching it. If you don't care about wrestling at all, if you don't care about Vince McMahon and the WWE and everything, I don't see you just spending a good 8 hours or so, roughly all the episodes combined, almost 8 hours, well, about roughly 7 hours of your time watching this. So at this point in 2024, if you've been watching wrestling long enough, you're going to feel what you feel already. Just putting that out there. And I know it'll be hard, because let's just say somebody does make a documentary where they talk about everything good in Vince. There's going to be pushback because of what we have right now. We have the Janelle Grant situation. We have all those other allegations where he was paying off women for the things they even brought up in the 90s with the female referee, Rita, oh my God, I think it was Chitteron. I don't really know how to pronounce the last name, and I'm sorry. They brought that up. And of course, you know, you had the steroid situation, and you're going to feel what you feel already, you know? So, but as wrestling fans, truly, what y'all thought about it? I was okay with it. Like I said, there was only a few things that was new to me. Funny enough, as long as I've been watching wrestling, I never knew Vince McMahon bought WCW for $2.5 million. $2.5 million. Not billion, million. That was a steal. Vince spent $5 million, less than $5 million altogether to get everything WCW. The rights and the media library. I want to say it was like 4.7 altogether. And I never realized that back in 2001, that he bought WCW for $2.5 million. Crazy. But once again, there won't be too many things that's going to be new. And once again, like I said, if somebody was trying to make a documentary highlighting the good, there's going to be pushback because right now, Vince's name won't yield positive results. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is at the moment. The Janelle Grant allegations are still here. All of those allegations in 2021, especially when he was doing all of those budget cuts, which kind of seemed like it led to, that was the hush money, that the money he was saving from the budget cuts, cutting all those wrestlers, was the money being used to pay off his secret affairs and this and the other. And then, of course, they was chronicling when he sold when he sold WWE to TKO, and how eventually he sold all his shares, cut all stock, so that way, you know, he had nothing to do with the business altogether because he didn't want to be in the way. They basically was talking about all of that. And it's just weird that a man who's been around for so long and who's done so much good and bad, such a polarizing person, what ultimately will be his legacy. And that's pretty much going to be the title of this Tag Me In, is what is Mr. McMahon's legacy? Let us know below. Let us have some engagement here, and maybe there could possibly be a follow-up with Lip Dizzle, Jaeger, and maybe Juggernaut. You know, what ultimately will be his legacy, because that Netflix documentary, I would say that was probably one of the most one of the most thought-provoking things that was in that documentary, was asking what would be Mr. McMahon's legacy. And ultimately, Vince did answer it, but other people kind of was like, ooh, that's kind of hard. And Vince kind of answered it, but ultimately, let us know how you feel. Whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up, like, share, comment. Once again, let us know what you thought of. Let us know what you think of Vince. Let us know what you think of the documentary. Let us know what you think of anything surrounding Mr. McMahon. Let's keep it friendly. Let's keep it nice. No need to attack. No need to anything. Let's have some true dialogue. Let's have some true conversations here. And after you do all of that, you gotta tag that subscribe button, and you gotta tag that notification bell so you can be notified for when you get all this content. And yeah, I know it's been a little light on our end. Don't worry. I'm trying to get back into making content. Bad Blood review is coming soon. Don't worry, because that was a fire PLE. Nope. Pun intended. But thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time, once again, shout outs to my brethren, Lip Dizzle, Jaeger Bombastic, and still current champ, Juggernaut 097. Till next time, give y'all out there that good old too sweet. Take care of one another. Take care of yourself. Love one another. Love yourself. Be kind to others. Look out for your mental and physical health. And until next time, Tag Nation, peace.